What if I told you that one of the greatest thieves of your strength, your clarity, and your independence after 60 isn't a disease you can name, but a series of invisible threads woven into the very fabric of your daily life? If you're over 60, 70, or even 80, there are surprisingly common habits that could be quietly draining your vitality, dulling the sharp edges of your memory, and increasing your risk of the very things we all want to avoid: falls, strokes, and long-term decline. And the most concerning part, most of us have absolutely no idea it's happening because these habits feel so normal. Welcome to Senior Health and Life, where today we are going to gently pull back the curtain on these hidden culprits. This is not about scare tactics. This is about a quiet, empowering awareness. In this video, we will explore 8 of these harmful habits, starting from number 8 and counting down to the most powerful habit of all. But we won't leave you with a list of problems. For each one, we will share a simple, gentle way to reverse its effects. You deserve to feel strong, sharp, and in control, no matter what your birth certificate says. If you're ready to make those shifts, hit that subscribe button and join our community dedicated to living powerfully. Now, let's begin. Habit number 8. Living a sedentary life. Let's start with something so common we barely even notice it: the comfortable chair that has become our command center for hours on end. We think of it as rest, as a well-deserved break. But what our bodies experience is stagnation. For those of us over 60, the bigger and more silent danger isn't a lack of formal workouts. It's the cumulative effect of sitting for too many hours in a row. Think of your circulatory system like a flowing river. Movement is the current that keeps the water clear. When you sit for prolonged periods, that river slows to a stagnant pond. A 2022 study from the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that older adults who sit for more than 8 hours a day, even if they exercise, still face a significantly higher risk of heart disease and loss of muscle function. Let me tell you about Arthur, a 72-year-old retired history professor. Arthur loved to spend his afternoons in his leather armchair, surrounded by books. He still took his evening walk, so he thought he was doing enough. But he couldn't shake a feeling that his world was shrinking, that his energy was trapped within the 4 walls of his study. His simple fix wasn't more intense exercise, it was more frequent interruption. Here's the simple way to reverse this. Don't think in terms of workouts. Think in terms of movement snacks. Set a timer to stand up and stretch for just 2 minutes every hour. March in place during TV commercials. These small acts are your secret weapon. They keep your river flowing, delivering life to your body and clarity to your mind. Habit number 7. Skipping meals. Often, that feeling of sluggishness can lead us to another common trap: we simply don't feel like eating. But for an older body, this can quietly sabotage both your metabolism and your mental clarity. As we age, our body's ability to store and release glucose, our primary fuel, becomes less efficient. When you skip a meal, especially breakfast, you force your body to run on an empty tank, which can cause sharp drops in blood sugar. For a senior, that can lead to confusion, dizziness, and even dangerous falls. Consider Beatrice, 68. She was a devoted grandmother, always putting her family first. She'd spend her mornings so focused on her grandkids that by the time she had a moment to herself, it was nearly noon, She couldn't understand why she often felt a wave of lightheadedness, sometimes needing to grip the counter to steady herself. That dizziness wasn't just aging. It was her body sending a desperate SOS for fuel. The gentle path back is this. The goal isn't a feast. It's consistent, gentle fuel. If you don't feel like a big meal, don't force it, but honor your body by giving it something, half a banana with a spoonful of peanut butter, a hard-boiled egg. Keeping a steady supply of energy in your system is one of the most fundamental ways to keep your mind clear and your body stable. Habit number 6, not drinking enough water. And when your body is low on fuel, it often sends confusing signals, which brings us to another habit. By the time you feel thirsty, your body is already in a state of dehydration. This is a critical truth for those of us over 60 because our natural thirst signals become weaker with age. Mild to chronic dehydration doesn't feel like an emergency. It feels like brain fog, low energy, and sudden dizzy spells. It's not just a feeling. A review by the renowned Mayo Clinic found that even a minor 2% drop in hydration can significantly impact short-term memory and attention in seniors. Let me tell you about Charles. At 70, Charles loved his daily crossword puzzle, but he found it was taking him longer to complete. He complained of a mental static he couldn't get rid of. For his birthday, his daughter gifted him a simple insulated bottle. He started keeping it by his side, taking a few sips every so often as a new habit. Within 2 weeks, the mental static began to clear. It wasn't a miracle pill. It was simply giving his brain the hydration it had been crying out for. So, what's the simple shift you can make? Make hydration an easy, visible habit. Keep a glass of water by your favorite chair. Add a slice of lemon to make it more appealing. Remember that soups and herbal teas count, too. It's one of the fastest ways to boost your energy and clarity. Habit number 5, reaching for the wrong comforts. Cravings after 60 can be deceptive. That sudden urge for salty chips or a sweet cookie isn't always a simple desire for a treat. Often, it's your body, depleted of real nutrients, making a desperate call for quick energy. As our taste buds dull with age, the intense flavors of ultra-processed foods become even more appealing. The problem is that these foods are high in sodium, unhealthy oils, and refined sugars, which together act like fuel for a low-grade fire of inflammation inside your body, a key contributor to joint pain and cognitive decline. Consider Dorothy, 75, a widow. She found comfort in her quiet evening routine, watching her favorite show with a small bowl of ice cream. She couldn't understand why the arthritis in her knees was getting progressively worse. Her journey back wasn't about deprivation, but about simple, satisfying upgrades. She discovered she could blend a frozen banana with berries to create a sweet, creamy, nice cream that satisfied her craving without the inflammatory sugar. Within a month, her morning stiffness had eased. The empowering solution is this. This isn't about banning your favorite foods. It's about making conscious upgrades. Craving something crunchy? Try roasted chickpeas. Craving something sweet? Try a small piece of dark chocolate. Your body still knows and deeply appreciates quality when it gets it. We've just covered 4 very common habits, and I'd love to pause for a moment and check in with you, as if we were having a chat over a cup of tea. So far, which of these habits has resonated with you the most? as something you'd like to be more mindful of. There's no judgment here, only shared understanding. Just sharing your thoughts in the comments below helps us all feel a little less alone on this journey. Habit number 4, treating sleep as a luxury. And what we choose to eat in the evening often sets the stage for the most critical repair cycle of all our sleep. For many of us who have lived busy, productive lives, sleep can feel like an inconvenience. But the truth is, sleep isn't rest. It is work. It is the time when your brain's dedicated cleaning crew comes out to wash away the metabolic debris that builds up during the day. When you consistently get less than 7 hours of quality sleep, that crucial repair work is left unfinished. Let me tell you about Stanley, 67, a former business executive. Stanley had always prided himself on his ability to function on just 5 or 6 hours of sleep. But in retirement, he found himself increasingly forgetful, and his temper was short. His turning point was a shift in perspective, seeing sleep not as a waste of time, but as the most productive and essential work he could do for his health. He created a simple power-down hour. 90 minutes before bed, all screens went off. He dimmed the lights and read a real paper book. Here's how you can start to turn the tide. Treat the last hour of your day as sacred. Create a gentle buffer between the stress of the world and the sanctuary of your bed. A regular sleep schedule and a quiet, screen-free wind-down are not luxuries. They are non-negotiable acts of self-preservation. Habit number 3, skipping gentle movement. And how we feel when we wake from that restorative sleep is often determined by a simple truth: a body at rest tends to stay at rest. You don't need to run marathons, but the habit of skipping gentle movement altogether is a fast track to stiffness and imbalance. As we age, our muscles naturally shrink if they aren't challenged. Think of your muscles as the strong supporting cables on a great bridge. Your joints are the structure. When the cables weaken from disuse, the structure itself, your knees, your hips, your spine has to bear the entire load, leading to pain and injury. Consider Clara, 78. She had always cherished her independence, especially her daily walk to the local library, but a growing stiffness in her hips had begun to make that simple, joyful walk feel daunting. Her journey back didn't involve a gym. It began with a simple 10-minute routine she did each morning while listening to the news, a few gentle leg lifts, and a set of slow, controlled chair squats. The simple, respectful way to support your body is this weave movement into the fabric of your day. Every stretch, every short walk is a vote for your future independence. The goal isn't to be athletic, it's to remain upright, pain-free, and confident in the body that has carried you this far. Habit number 2, neglecting regular health checkups. But while we can often feel a stiff joint, some of the most significant threats to our well-being are completely silent. This brings us to a habit born not of laziness, but of a misplaced sense of security: skipping your regular checkups. Many of the most serious conditions like high blood pressure or early-stage kidney disease develop without obvious symptoms until the damage is significant. Let me tell you about George, 76. He prided himself on never being sick and hadn't seen his doctor for a regular physical in 2 years. At his wife's insistence, he finally went. That routine screening caught his dangerously high blood pressure, a silent condition that was putting him at major risk for a stroke. His greatest feeling wasn't fear. It was an immense sense of gratitude and relief. Here's the simple shift in mindset. View your annual checkup not as an appointment for when you're sick, but as a strategic partnership with your doctor. It is an opportunity to catch the small patch of rust before it becomes a hole. It is an investment in your own peace of mind. Habit number 1, living with a negative mindset. And even if the engine is perfectly tuned, the quality of your journey depends entirely on the driver. This might be the most powerful habit of all, if your mindset has more influence over your physical health than most people realize. A consistently negative mindset keeps your body in a state of high alert, flooding your system with the stress hormone, cortisol. Over time, high levels of cortisol can constrict blood vessels, weaken your immune system, and even physically shrink the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory. A long-term study from the University of Michigan found that older adults with consistently negative thought patterns had a 40% higher risk of cognitive decline. Consider Edward, 70, who had fallen into a pattern of chronic worry after retiring. He started a simple practice every night before bed. He would write down just one good thing that happened that day, a call from his son, the taste of his morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on his face. The most profound antidote is this: you don't need toxic positivity. Just find moments of balanced perspective. Start a simple gratitude practice. Spend 5 minutes a day doing deep, slow breathing. A healthier mindset won't stop the clock, but it will absolutely change the way you experience every moment of the time you have. So, there they are. 8 quiet conversations your body has been trying to have with you. This isn't a list of failures to be corrected. Think of it as a series of gentle invitations, asking for a small change in your daily dance. The most important part of our entire time together is this: you do not need to fix everything overnight. The goal isn't perfection, it is intention. Even changing just one of these habits can create a powerful ripple effect, leading to better energy, clearer thinking, and a profound sense of control. It is never too late. Your body is a faithful companion that has carried you through decades of life, through joy and sorrow, through strength and struggle. The greatest gift you can give it now is not perfection, but your gentle, consistent attention. So, I'd love to hear from you. What is one small intentional choice you're going to make for yourself, starting tomorrow? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might just be the spark of inspiration that someone else in our community needs to see today. If this video helped you think differently about your health, please tap the like button to support the channel and subscribe for more practical real-world advice tailored for you. Your body is the only true home you will ever have. Treat it with kindness. Stay sharp. Stay steady.